Some events defy explanation, weaving threads of dread and mystery through the fabric of history itself. Tonight, we'll explore chilling true stories, real accounts that blur the boundaries between reality and nightmare. Each tale is connected by shadows we dare not acknowledge, secrets buried deep, and echoes that resonate even today. Our journey begins with the first story, a haunting event etched into memory, whispered only in fear. First story, the Centralia coal mine fire. In May of 1962, in the quiet and picturesque town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, what was initially a routine and mundane landfill cleanup transformed into a catastrophic event that would leave a lasting scar upon the community. Town officials, aiming to clear out waste in preparation for the annual Memorial Day festivities, set a controlled fire at the local landfill. Unbeknownst to them, hidden beneath the surface lay an extensive labyrinth of coal seams and long-abandoned mining tunnels, remnants of the region's prosperous coal mining past. As the fire began to consume the refuse above ground, it silently crept downward, unnoticed, into the coal-rich seams below. Initially, Centralia's residents went about their daily routines without suspicion or concern, oblivious to the brewing calamity beneath their feet. It wasn't long, however, before subtle yet alarming indications emerged, slowly unveiling the horrifying truth. Thin, ghostly wisps of smoke began to rise mysteriously from small cracks in sidewalks and roadways, becoming a curious spectacle for townspeople who had no inkling of the underlying danger. Soon, entire patches of ground grew inexplicably warm, startling children at play and puzzling concerned adults. An eerie and unsettling scent, akin to burning sulfur, started permeating the air, turning ordinary walks into unnerving experiences. As days melted into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, the subterranean inferno grew in intensity and scope. The hidden blaze spread relentlessly through the vast networks of coal beneath Centralia, defying every containment strategy the authorities desperately employed. Gradually, the situation evolved from curious phenomenon to outright peril. Streets and sidewalks buckled dramatically, splitting open to reveal steaming fissures that emitted smoke and noxious gases. Sinkholes began to appear suddenly and unpredictably, consuming gardens, yards, vehicles, and even entire sections of roads, transforming once safe neighborhoods into perilous zones. Panic began gripping the community as residents increasingly found themselves confronting direct threats from the invisible fire. Homes shook and sagged as their foundations were undermined by burning coal, prompting widespread evacuations. Authorities frantically drilled into the earth, pumping in thousands of gallons of water in a futile attempt to quench the underground inferno, but each effort was heartbreakingly unsuccessful. Air quality deteriorated sharply as toxic gases seeped into basements and filled the atmosphere, making breathing hazardous and leading to respiratory distress among many residents. Slowly but inexorably, Centralia became a ghost town, as fearful residents reluctantly abandoned the homes they'd cherished, forced to leave behind precious memories and possessions to escape an unseen yet devastating menace. The community that had once thrived was now eerily silent, its streets deserted, its structures decaying quietly amidst smoke that perpetually rose from the tortured earth. Today, Centralia remains a haunting testament to the consequences of human oversight and the hidden dangers lurking just beneath our feet. Its streets are twisted and broken by relentless heat. Buildings stand vacant and decaying, and a sense of lingering dread hangs heavily in the air. Even decades later, smoke continues to drift skyward, stubbornly signaling that the fire below is very much alive. Centralia is not only a chilling reminder of the past, but a stark warning about the unforeseen perils that can quietly and persistently consume everything we hold dear, unseen until it's far too late. Yet the horror does not end there. Across time and distance, darkness leaves its mark, connecting unrelated lives through experiences too strange to ignore. The whispers continue, guiding us to another chilling chapter. Second story, the Dyatlov Pass incident. In late January of 1959, a group of 10 experienced hikers led by Igor Dyatlov set out on an ambitious skiing expedition through Russia's rugged Ural Mountains. Their journey promised adventure and excitement, but what awaited them was something far darker and far more mysterious. Shortly after beginning their trek, one hiker fell ill and turned back. Unaware at the time, he would become the group's only survivor. The remaining 9 continued onward, documenting their progress meticulously with photographs and journal entries filled with enthusiasm and anticipation. On the night of February 1st, something inexplicable and terrifying unfolded. The hikers pitched their tent on the slope of Kolatsiakal, a place known to the indigenous Mansi tribe as the Mountain of the Dead. Weeks later, when the hikers failed to return as scheduled, rescue teams scoured the snowy mountainside, discovering a chilling scene. The hikers' tent had been sliced open from the inside, suggesting a panicked escape into the freezing night. Footprints indicated they fled barefoot or with minimal clothing into the harsh winter wilderness. Gradually, search parties uncovered the bodies scattered across the landscape, some half buried beneath snow, others found near makeshift fires. The condition of the bodies was shocking. Severe internal injuries without external wounds, fractured skulls, and broken ribs. One hiker's tongue and eyes had been gruesomely removed. Radiation traces were inexplicably found on their clothing, deepening the mystery. Official investigations yielded few answers, concluding cryptically that the hikers had succumbed to an unknown, compelling force. Numerous theories arose: government cover-ups, secret military testing, alien encounters, and supernatural phenomena, yet none could fully explain the tragedy. Today, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved, a chilling puzzle that continues to haunt and intrigue, reminding us that sometimes the truth may be more terrifying than fiction. These stories warn us of forces unseen but felt. Forces that linger, always near, watching silently, waiting patiently. And now we delve even deeper to the darkest corridors of human experience. Story: the Hinterkaifeck farm. Murders. In March of 1922, on a remote farm known as Hinterkaifeck near Munich, Germany, an unsettling series of events culminated in one of history's most chilling unsolved crimes. Days before tragedy struck, farmer Andreas Gruber reported strange occurrences to neighbors. Unfamiliar footprints appearing in the snow leading towards his house but none leaving, mysterious noises in the attic, and keys inexplicably disappearing. On the evening of March 31st, the 6 inhabitants of Hinterkaifeck, the elderly couple Andreas and Cecilia Gruber, their widowed daughter Victoria, her 2 young children, and their maid Maria Baumgartner, were brutally murdered. Days passed before neighbors, noticing the eerie silence and lack of activity on the farm, decided to investigate. When authorities arrived, they discovered a horrific scene. 4 bodies stacked in the barn, carefully covered with hay, while the maid and youngest child were found inside the farmhouse. The victims had been killed with precise, violent blows from a mattock. Yet bizarrely, evidence showed the killer had stayed at the farm after committing the murders, tending to livestock, cooking meals, and even lighting fires in the hearth. Investigations were extensive but inconclusive, plagued by conflicting evidence and limited by the rudimentary forensic methods of the era. Suspects ranged from disgruntled neighbors to wandering vagrants and even family acquaintances, but none were definitively linked to the horrific act. Today, Hinterkaifeck remains one of Germany's most chilling unsolved mysteries. The farm itself has long since been demolished, but eerie whispers persist in the area, and locals recount sightings of ghostly figures wandering the fields at night. The Hinterkaifeck murders continue to disturb and fascinate, a stark reminder of the sinister forces that may lurk behind seemingly peaceful facades. As we've discovered tonight, reality holds terrors stranger than fiction. Each event, each chilling truth you've witnessed, carries a hidden connection. Threads of dread binding us all. So the next time you hear a whisper in the dark, or sense a presence unseen, remember, some horrors are all too real. Sleep well, if you can.